So I'm presenting myself, which is going to be interesting because I didn't have any time. The photos that look like they're shot in Vietnam were shot in Vietnam by me. So it says sales and marketing for product people. What this is really about is creating a marketing case study. And as product people, I think that it's important for you for external customers and internally for your job, career, and aspirations, which you know is sort of the thread between everything I said. All right, let's go. So there are three actors that I'm talking about. There's an internal client, that's somebody that you work for, or somebody who's your boss's boss. There's an external client, in this case it's Gerard Butler, because that's funny to me, and that's the person that you're selling to. And then there's you, in this case it's Ian, who's not me, but it's Ian, because that's funny, because I put Ian's picture in the slide. So that's what we're doing there. There are three types of companies that I'm talking about. Companies that can make money immediately out of the gate. They're selling platform as a service, or they're billing like Uber is. They're companies that are focused on growth wholly, and then there are companies in the middle that are trying to make money, and they're also having growth, and then you do things like those shoes, which are whack, so don't do that, right? Either focus on growth or focus on selling. So B2B companies, they grow by having product market fit, then you get sales growth, and then you get product upsell, either freemium or you get people to buy your stuff. The product manager can actually help in the middle in the sales growth aspect. And so that's part of what I'm talking about today. And that's when you have an external client. Because when you have an external client like Gerard Butler, then you have this long sales cycle and you're like, hey, please buy my stuff. I ran a startup and I had a SaaS platform. Hey, you want to use FanFeeder? It's really going to help you. And that can just go on for days and days. B2B is like driving a road that doesn't appear to end anywhere because you don't know how long the sales cycle is going to be. The problem is what I call the private school problem. This is my private school in the Oakland Hills that's right across the way. People that you're dealing with have kids in private school either in real life or metaphorically, and they're not trying to jeopardize that. So they're conservative as shit, right? They don't want to do anything that's going to disrupt my kids in private school because I got kids in private school. Private school is $28K. So what happens is you say, I've got a solution, and they say, we don't have that problem. And they say, yes, you do. And they say, I don't know if I'm going to work with you. And you go through these cycles of despair and joy, and you look like the people in the photos, or horrifically the people on the bottom row too. But you're trying to avoid that because you're like, oh, and they're like, no. Right? And so what that ends up with is chaos and gridlock. In this case, these are the streets of Hanoi. And you basically can value the efforts of whether you're going to close a deal with somebody by basically the value of the deal, the likelihood of it getting closed, and you imply implicit price deflator to the net present value, and you end up with zero. Because basically a deal that hasn't been closed is not going to be closed. Then I want to talk a little bit about the internal client. That's character actor number 2. That's the person that you're working for or that your boss works for. And you're trying to make a case for why what you're doing at the company can add value. And so the case study, marketing case study really drives that. The last actor in this group is you, right? You sell your product and you're also trying to get ahead with your career. So you build products, but you also at certain points need to actually sell your product as well. And I caught up, thank you, so I can slow down and catch a breath. So a little bit of table setting. Everybody has a different view about what product management and product development looks like. For me, product lead sits in the middle of a 3-legged stool between engineering, UX design, and business development and business operations, and then report to a GM. You might have a different model. This is the model that works for me historically, and this is the model that I've set up at Samsung. So for you, for that type of person, why you want to do internal marketing is that you have your own product market fit, the stuff that you like to work on. You have your career that you want to grow, and then you're looking for a bigger job or a different job or a job that's more aligned with the things that you're passionate about. The only person who can help you with these things is you. So the case study or the one-page case study really is a solution, much like dance steps, not as complicated, that helps you sort of both sell externally and helps you grow your career. And you can actually use the same document for both. What does that look like? It has 3 components. You have the core problem. So in the case of Ian, again, just to use him as an object study, I want more people to use Foursquare. Here's my real-life example of what I did to grow that usage, and here's the quantifiable results. People use Foursquare more often. And for product people, the marketing case study has these 3 components and nothing else. Perhaps there's an illustration, and it's 1 page. You focus first on the core problem. What is the problem that you're trying to solve? In this case, again, to use the example that I'm talking about, it's how do I get more people to spend more time on site using my application, and we can make it up and say it's the explore function, for example. Then the real life example is that Ian did this to Foursquare and he got happy people and he grew time spent by 1.75x. So basically some concrete numbers about your approach and your solution to the core problem that you're trying to solve. Again, this is the second paragraph of your one-page marketing case study. The quantified result is that both for internal clients and for external clients, you get happy people. But what I'm asking you to do is to use hard numbers. I did this is my problem, this is my solution, and this is the result that I got. What that one page does is it gives psychological comfort to both external clients and gets them to move off of the schneid so that they close the deal with you. And it's psychological comfort to the internal client so that they invest in your future successes, so they can get over what I call the private school problem of having their people in private school. And so that's the end result that you're striving for, because the moral of the story is that sales internally and externally are both hard. It requires a different skill set than traditional product development. Closing a sale and career advancement both can have significant overlap in terms of how you present it. And this one-page document, again, is just to give psychological comfort, even though you're the one that's generating it. Lastly, product people often don't do sales, but sales can drive product and it can drive your career. Thank you, I'm here all week, tell your friends. And an object lesson in this is that a senior vice president at HBO used this technique and got her budget tripled into tens of millions of dollars for what she was doing because she proved that she did this one thing that worked out well. And so that's the opportunity that I'm saying is in front of you with a one-page document. Thank you.